Okay, welcome everybody. Go ahead and find your comfy seat, however that looks for you. Maybe with your ankles crossed or your legs extended out in front of you. Grab a blanket or a block, anything else you need to feel comfortable, and then close your eyes. Start to take some deep breaths in and out. And bring your attention to the quality, the length, the strength, the depth of your breath. And notice how that breath really fills you up, makes you light and buoyant, and how your exhales root you down. And so today, as we flow, we'll play with lightness and rootedness, which is something that for me seems a bit out of whack these days. There's been so much heaviness with all of the uncertainty, almost fearing and holding, catching our breaths, because we're afraid of the little tiny beings that might be in the air. And then also at the same time, feeling completely spacey, out of my routine, out of my norm, away from some of those things that tend to ground me and make me feel safe, like my community, like my yoga practice, like just doing normal things day to day in the community that make me feel like I have a routine. Without any of that, I feel like I'm just floating out into the air. And one thing that we can practice when we come to our mat is a tiny bit of control, noticing that we can bring in that feeling of lightness, air, space when things start to feel a little bit too heavy, and how we can root down into our own personal center, or literally into the strength and stability of the ground. You can notice for yourself when you're veering off too much in one way or the other, and do things personally in your practice, in your own mind, day to day, that just brings you back to center. So we'll be working through that in our bodies. We'll work through that with our breath, and we'll work through that right here. Take a few more breaths and decide for yourself where you feel too much heaviness and where you feel too much space, too much floating out into the ether. Bring those things to mind. And as we flow through today, hopefully we can bring some of that stability and some of that space into the areas that we need it. On your next breath in, open your eyes if they were closed and reach your fingertips all the way up. Extend from the fingers, feel that length and extension and root down into your hips. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Take a breath in and exhale, twist to your right. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee and then gaze back behind you. Hug your navel in strong. Good. On your next breath in, turn back to center and reach your fingertips up. Maybe gaze up and then exhale, take it to the other side. Lift the crown of the head up. Feel that space and extension as you root down. Inhale, spin back to center, reach and stretch. And then exhale, crescent over to the right. Bring your right hand down. Reach the left arm up and overhead. Breathe in, fill up, and take it to the other side. Good. Open your shoulders up, reach your heart towards the sky. Inhale, reach back up. And then exhale, place both hands on your knees. Take a few circles here. So reach your chest forward. And as you exhale, empty your belly, tuck your chin in, roll your upper body back. Getting into the hips and loosening up the whole spine. So creating lots of space here. Let your shoulder blades move away from one another. Really exaggerate those movements and take them with your breath. And then when you feel ready, you can reverse the circles. And then just be careful to notice as you move, how your body's responding, how things feel. You take a few extra breaths if there's any stickiness, and move until you feel ready, until you feel like the action has done its work. You feel a little bit more space and extension in your hips, in your spine. Good. Once you're all done, Extend your legs out in front of you and lay all the way down on your mat and take a big full body stretch. Reach your fingers back and your toes forward, stretch out. Invite yourself into this whole space. Take up as much space as you can. Breathe in. Then exhale, draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Feel that security of an embrace. You can tuck your chin in towards your knees, flex and point your toes, and then lay back down. Drop both feet down on the ground. Keep your left foot planted and your left knee bent. Straighten your right leg and extend the sole of your right foot up to the sky. Flex your toes strongly. Gaze down at your right knee. Feel that kneecap lift up and your quadricep turn on. You can stay here or interlace your fingers behind your thigh, but draw your shoulders down into the security of your mat, into that rootedness. Feel the lift in your extended leg. And flex or point your toe. And stay right here, or you can walk your fingertips up to behind your calf. Keep your shoulders down, pressing into the earth. Keep that left foot pushing down. Supta Padangusthasana variation, you can keep your left knee bent here or straighten your left leg as well. Push the back of your left thigh down, left heel down into the mat. And then just gentle tugs of your straight right leg towards your chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, release your hands from your leg, extend your arms out into a T, flex your right toes, and then just drop your left foot over to the, or your right foot over to the right. Keep your left side body pressed into the ground. Keep that left hip, left shoulder weighty. Straighten the right leg, extend out through the ball of your right foot. And then inhale, hoist that leg back up to center. Bend your right knee, shake that out, and we'll switch with your right knee bent, right foot in the earth. Same thing on the left side. Straighten your left leg, flex your left toes, interlace your fingers behind your thigh, root your shoulders down. And then just notice how things are feeling. Keep your palms here or walk them up towards your calf, only if you can keep your shoulders locked into this firm support of the earth. And a little draw back of your thigh towards your chest. And keep your right knee bent or straighten the right leg as well. But flex both toes, get active in your feet, and feel that extension out as you stretch. Inhale. Exhale, release the grip. Bring your arms back out. This time, lower your left foot over to the left, keeping both legs straight. And only let this left foot go down so much so as you can keep your right hip pressing into the earth. Don't let your whole body roll to the left. And then inhale, bring that leg back up, bend your knees, and shake it out. You can drop your knees over to the right and the left, little windshield wipers. Then a little bit more lying down before we get moving. So keep your upper body down, bend your knees, bring your knees over your hips, and make your shins parallel with the ground. Flex your toes. Abdominal bracing. Press your hands right into your thighs. Keep your head laying down. Begin to push your hands into your legs. Push your legs back into your hands. Let your belly turn on and your low back press into the mat. You can push a little bit or a lot. Continue to breathe deeply. In and out. Resist the urge to hold your breath. Stay right here or lift your head and neck. Reach your fingertips forward towards your heels. Good. Stay here or straighten your left leg. Draw your right knee in. Hug your knee towards your nose. Breathe in here. Exhale, either stay where you are or switch. Straighten your right leg. Draw your left knee in strongly. Be active in the toes. Reach the fingertips forward. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Draw your knees in. Rock your knees from right to left, side to side, or in circles. And then rock up and down the length of your spine. Catch a little momentum. And then come to seated. Plant your hands and step back to downward facing dog. I'm gonna face this way. So downward facing dog, facing the top of your mat. You can bend your knees. Drop one knee and then the other. Drop one heel down. Push down strongly into your arms Activate your fingertips, grip the mat with your fingers, push down. Use that to lift your heart back towards your thighs and your tailbone up. Good. Look forward between your hands. Step both feet to the top of your mat. Ardha Uttanasana. Take a breath in. And exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, reach the crown of your head forward, lift up halfway. Plant your hands in something rooted. So your shins or fingertips down on the ground. Exhale, fold. 1 more, lift up halfway. From the strength and rootedness in your hands, reach out with the crown of your head, send your tailbone back. And exhale, fold. Ragdoll pose, keep your toes together or heel toe your feet out as wide as your hips. And let your head and neck fall. You can bend your knees. You can let your fingertips graze the ground or reach for opposite elbows. Good. Halfway lift on a breath in. Bring your hands to your hips, rise all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, heel toe your feet back together. Reach your fingertips up. And exhale, fold back forward, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, lift up halfway. And exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists and bring your feet as wide as your hips. Chaturanga Dandasana, either with knees bent for support or with legs straight, bend your elbows, point them straight behind you, lower down. Then untuck your toes, push forward and through, straighten your arms for up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And take 1 or 2 breaths. Find that steadiness between the mind, the body, and the breath. And then look forward between your hands. Step your right foot between your hands at the top of the mat. Pivot your left heel down so your left foot's parallel and your left leg is straight. And walk your fingertips over to the left corner of your mat. Down dog lunge. So with straight arms, push down and forward into your hands like down dog. With your lower body, you're in a low lunge. So stack your right knee over your right ankle, straighten your right leg strong, and bow. Let that breath continue to flow. Hug your navel in strongly. Push down. Use that to feel light and buoyant in your back body. Stretch out. Inhale. And as you exhale, release that. Walk your hands back to frame your foot. Low lunge position. Step your right foot back. You can flow back or simply lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Once you've made it to down dog, look forward, step your left foot forward this time. Pivot the right heel down. Walk your fingertips up and forward towards the right side. Push down and forward. Hug this left hip back. Straighten your right leg, stack your left knee over your ankle, reach forward and bow down. So even as you push down and back into your right heel, hug your heels towards one another just to tone up your inner thighs. 1 more breath. And exhale, walk your hands back to frame your foot. Low lunge with the left leg forward, step back to plank, and make your way back to downward facing dog. If you're flowing, reach the heart forward and through for your up dog. Draw your shoulders down and back. Exhale, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Look forward, step or hop, both feet to the top of your mat. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Come all the way up to stand, Urdhva Hastasana, reach and stretch up. Bring your hands down by your sides, Tadasana. Inhale, reach back up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, keep your legs straight and strong, bow down. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. And exhale, journey back to down dog any way you choose. So always option to drop those thighs down, lift up and through for cobra pose, move back to down dog or child's pose. If you need a little bit more time to catch your breath. Cool. From your down dog, lift your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Let your left heel melt down. Use the strength of your right hip to lift that right leg up. Keep pushing down strongly into your arms. Look forward. Draw your right knee into your nose and shift forward. Hug your knee in. Stack your shoulders over your wrist and send it up and back. Three-legged dog. Two more. Shift forward. Breathe in. Puff up. And lift up and back. Last one. Look forward. Shift forward. Squeeze it in. Flex your right toes this time. Then step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, lizard lunge. So both hands should be on the inner edge of your right foot. And you can scoot your feet if you don't like where they landed. You can point your right toe straight forward and then stack your right knee over your ankle. Keep your back knee up or drop it down. Good. And then you can stay here on your palms or drop down to your forearms. And if you have a block or a book, you can bring your forearms to that for something in between. Wherever you are, press down into the right big toe. And draw your right knee in towards your shoulder. And give a slight hug of your left knee slightly forward without really moving it. Just hug it forward to tone the top of your thigh even as you stretch it. Cool. If you're down on your forearms, come back to your palms and keep your left knee down. Lift up onto the heel of your right foot, then turn and open your knee out to the side. Lay the pinky edge side of your foot down, and then scoot your left hand up and forward a bit. Push down into the left hand, turn to the right. Twisted quad stretch, so you'll let your left hip descend towards the ground and push down and forward into your right knee. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. Maybe gaze over your shoulder. So stay right here or bend your back knee. Draw your heel in towards your glute. You stay there, you can reach back for your left foot with your right hand. Reach for the outer edge of your foot. If you grab the foot, kick your foot back into your hand. And if you don't grab the foot, just reach. So option to stay right there or lift your hips up so that the heel and the buttocks meet and then lower that as a unit. Keep your shoulders drawing back, opening across your heart, and descend your hips to any degree. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Plant both hands down at the top of the mat. Heel toe your right foot in so it's between your hands. Keep your left knee down. Shift your hips back. Straighten your right leg, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Lift your toes up. Flex all the toes, even the pinky one. Bring it along. And if you can't quite get this leg to straight, if you have a prop, you can bring something underneath your hands or come to your fingertips. Keep your torso lifting up. So even through the effort, expand out through the crown of the head, broaden across your chest. Inhale. And exhale. Keep the legs, just walk your hands over to your left. And turn your left heel behind you. Come to stand on your left knee with your right leg out to the side. You can point your right toes straight forward towards the front of your mat or point them forward kind of towards the direction that you're facing. And keep this right leg straight. Inhale, reach your fingertips up. Then exhale, crescent over to your right. Parigasana gate pose. Lay your right hand down on your thigh and gaze up towards the left. So push your hips forward so they come in line with your knee and crescent to the side. Inhale. Exhale it out. Stay with it. Then breathe in. Lift your torso, reach and stretch up. Exhale, gaze to the left. Plant your left hand down. Lift your right leg up. Modified half moon Ardha Chandrasana. Gaze up at your right thumb. Push down strongly into your left arm. Inhale. Exhale, drop the right leg down. Reach your fingertips up. And then hinge forward. Plant your hands down in front of you. Walk your hands back to the top of the mat. You can pivot and bend both knees. Come back to low lunge. Step your right foot back to plank and lift up and back to down dog. From here, lift your left leg up. Three-legged dog with the left leg high. Gaze at your toes. Walk your fingertips back towards your foot. towards the back of the mat, standing splits. Okay, and if this left hip wants to lift open, drop it down. So your left hip is in line with your right one. Stand strong on your right leg. You can stay here or bow down. Really extend out through the right foot. Reach and stretch back with your left foot. Reach and stretch back with your left toes and drape your torso over your thigh. Good. Lift up halfway. Extend the crown of the head forward. Stay right here with fingertips down, supported via 3, or bring your hands to your heart, warrior 3 variation. And try and bring your torso and your back leg parallel with the ground. Good. Root down into the big toe of the right foot. One more breath. And as you exhale, draw your left knee in. Come to stand. Draw your left knee up. Stand on your right leg. Good. Staying here. Bend your right knee. Catch that balance. Stack your left knee on top of the right. Eagle legs. Kickstand your foot out to the side. Single wrap or double. Squeeze your legs in strong. Reach your arms out into a T. Whoa. And then wrap your left arm underneath the right. So you can reach for shoulders or bring your palms to touch. And then let your hips sit down, almost like you're sitting into chair pose. Good. Inhale. Exhale, stay or puff up in your upper back. Protract your shoulders. Drop your elbows down to your knees. And then try and rise back up. Unravel. Bow over your right leg. Standing splits at the back of the mat. Lift the left leg high. Inhale, lift your torso up halfway. And exhale, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. 3-legged plank, stack your shoulders over your wrists. Drop your left foot down, or 3-legged chaturanga. Into up dog, flow back to down dog. And take your time to get there. Let your breath be your guide. From down dog, take 2 breaths. Good. And from here, we'll lift our left leg up, 3-legged dog, extend. And exhale, draw your knee in, shift forward. Inhale, lift up and back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, shift forward. One more, breathe in, lift up and back. Last one, shift forward, hug your knee in, flex your left toes. Step your left foot to the outside of your left hand and set up your lizard. So draw this left knee into your side, squeeze it in. You can keep your right knee up or drop it down to the ground. You can stay on your palms or lower to your forearms on this side. Give yourself time to work into it. Keep rooted in all 4 corners of that left foot. Hug your right knee slightly up, just to grip and tone the front of the hamstring and quad on the right leg. Create space to just settle in and see where the body takes you. Okay, if you're on your forearms, come back to your palms, lizard lunge, then lift up onto your left heel, turn and open your hips. Scoot your right fingertips up a bit, push down into your right arm, and place your left hand on your knee. And then think that you can lengthen this femur out of the socket, push forward and away. And turn your heart towards the left. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Twisted quad stretch on this side. Stay right there or bend your right knee. And stay there or reach back for your foot. And none of that has to happen at all or exactly when I say. You just know that you have options depending on how things are unraveling for you. Good. You can stay here and kicking your foot back into your hand for the shoulder stretch, or lift your hips, move your butt towards your heel, connect them, and then as a unit, descend your hips. Keep drawing your left shoulder especially down and back, and gaze back. Inhale. Exhale, release whatever grip you've got. Let that go. Plant your hands down, lizard lunge, and then scoot your left foot into center so your hands frame your foot. Send your hips back to half splits. Flex your toes, lift them up towards your face. And then think of draping your heart towards your shin. Remove any round and puff in your upper back. Lift your chin away from your chest and reach out with the crown of the head. Good. One more inhale. And exhale, walk both fingertips over to the right this time. Pivot on your right knee and lift your hips. Turn your toes to face the front of the mat or face in your direction and push your hips forward so they come in line with your knee. And bring your knee right under your hip. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, but press it over to your extended leg. Lift and stretch up with the top hand as you bow. So turn your torso up towards the sky rather than down towards your leg. And keep toning your glutes and pushing your hips forward. Parigasana gate pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, gaze right. Plant your right hand down. Lift the left leg up and look up for modified half moon. Try and tone your hips so they don't sit behind you. Push your hip in line with your knee. And flex or point the toes of your extended leg. Actively reach out in all four corners. Inhale. Exhale. Plant that foot down. Rise up. Exhale. Hinge from your hips and walk your fingertips back to the front of the mat to frame your foot. Lift up to low lunge. Step your left foot back to plank. From here, you can add or subtract from your flow. Take a few breaths and meet me in downward facing dog. Or child's pose. Wherever you are, use this opportunity to lengthen the breath, steady your thoughts, and bring balance to the mind and the body. From your down dog, lift your right leg up. Right leg high, left leg down. Look at your left toes. Walk your fingertips towards the back of the mat. Standing splits. Lift your right leg up, but drop your right hip down. Don't let it crank open towards the right. And drape your torso over a strong, straight left leg. Kind of lift this hip up. Draw your belly away from your thigh as you bow. You can keep your palms down or bring your fingertips behind your heel. Any variation, keep that strength in your right glute to keep that leg lifting. Good. Stay there or lift up halfway. Bring your fingertips underneath your shoulders. Supported warrior 3. Stay here or lift up into Virabhadrasana 3 variation. Bring your hands to your heart. Lift your heart up parallel. You can always keep your fingertips down. Good. Steady the breath. Hang in there. One more inhale. Hold it for the exhale. And as you inhale, draw your right knee in. Come all the way up to stand. Woo. So standing on your left leg, lift the right knee up. Flex your right toes. Inhale. Exhale, bend your left knee. Stack right knee over left. Eagle leg, single wrap or double. Point both hip points to face the front of your mat. Arms come out into a T. And wrap your right arm under the left this time. Reach for shoulders or bring your palms together. Man, eagle pose is hard talking. Okay, from here, inhale. And exhale, round your back. Draw your belly in and lower your elbows down towards your knees. Squeeze your thighs in. Rise as you breathe in. Unravel your arms, unravel your legs. Bow over your left leg, standing splits. Halfway lift, inhale. And then exhale, walk your hands back to the top of the mat. Three-legged vinyasa or just regular one, any way back to down dog. Keep pushing down and forward into your arms. Move your shoulders away from your ears. Externally rotate, spin them open. Awesome. Look forward between your hands. Hop or step to the top of your mat. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. Exhale, bow. Inhale, rise all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, reach overhead. Bring your hands down. Tadasana. Take a towel break or a water break. Mostly because I need a water break. And meet me in downward facing dog. Or no, meet me in Tadasana. Okay. Tadasana at the top of the mat, mountain pose. Bring your big toes together or widen your feet to hips with distance. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, sink your hips low. Utkatasana, chair pose. Lower all the way down. And then once you've gotten all you can get, lift your heart up. Keep that bend in your knees. Weight in your heels. Lift your fingertips up and coil in your upper back. Inhale. Exhale, straighten your legs, fold forward, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale. Optional Bakasana, crow pose, or move straight back to downward facing dog. If you're taking crow, bend your knees deeply. Widen your feet hip width distance. Plant your hands down fully. Then tuck your knees up into your armpits near your upper triceps. Bend your elbows like chaturanga. And then shift forward, gaze forward, hug your navel in. Maybe just lift one foot and then the other, and catch a little air, and flow back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, look forward and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, lizard lunge. So we've been here before. Take your same options or scoot your right shoulder under your right knee. And bring your right fingertips right behind your right heel. Keep your right knee over your ankle. And turn your torso to face down toward your mat. Stay lifted on the ball of your left foot. Stay right here with palms down or fly your arms for flying lizard. Maybe turn your palms up to the sky and bind. And keep your hips pointing down towards the mat. You know, you can always bail when you need to. Plant your hands down. Good. Come back to lizard lunge once you're done. Lift the left knee up. Stay lifted on the ball of the left foot. Step your right hand forward in front of your right foot. Then stand into your right leg. Lift your left leg up and back. And then turn towards the left, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Stack your left hip over your right. Straighten your left leg behind you. Reach your left fingertips up to the sky. So good place for a water bottle. If the ground is a little far away. So you can gaze down at your fingertips or your toes for more steadiness. Gaze to the side or up. Feel that tone in your right hip to spin your whole torso towards the left. Point your toes straight to the left. Inhale. Exhale, bend your right knee. Step your right hand back beside your foot and step your left foot back to the back of the mat. Extended side angle pose. Or just make your way back there. So straighten your left leg. Plant your left foot so it's parallel with your mat. Reach your left arm up and overhead. You can also bring your right elbow to your right knee and reach up this way. Tone and open your knee out to the side so it stacks over your ankle. Inhale. And exhale, release. Spin to face your mat, plant both hands down. Step back to plank and lift your hips to downward facing dog. Let that go, look forward. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot up about a foot and then rise all the way up. So pyramid legs, turn both toes to face forward. Your left toes will face out slightly to the left. And align your front heel and your back heel. Reach your arms out into a T. Then turn your palms to face behind you. Draw your arms back and bend your elbows. You can reach for opposite elbows or bring your palms together. but keep the legs. Spin your whole torso to face the front of the room. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Straighten both legs strong. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, fold forward, hinge from your hips. Keep your legs super straight. Push down and back, especially into the left heel. Pyramid pose. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Release the grip you have behind your back. Plant your hands to frame your foot. Bow down. Lift up halfway. Then step your left foot forward to meet your right one. Halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bow, Uttanasana. Rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Reach and stretch overhead. And bring your hands down. Tadasana, last chair pose. Set your feet up together or hip width distance. Bend your knees, sink the hips, sit low, reach up. Utkatasana. So even as the lower body is working to sit lower, lift up through the heart, reach out. Flutter those toes off the mat. Inhale. Exhale, straighten your legs and fold forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Option to take one more Bakasana to add to your flow. Plant your hands down, tuck your knees in, shift forward, catch some air, or simply journey back to down dog. From here, gaze forward, step your left foot up to the outside of your left hand for lizard lunge. So take your options or snuggle that right or left shoulder underneath your knee. Bring your fingertips right behind your left knee or your left heel, excuse me. Turn your torso to face down. Stay there or fly one arm, maybe both. Flying lizard, straighten your right leg strong. You can turn your palms up and bind here. Steady with the breath. Release when you're ready. Good. I just had a feeling that that went well. Plant both hands down to the inner edge of your foot, lizard lunge. Then step your left hand forward, stand into your left leg, straighten it out, and then stack your hips, half moon on this side. Grab a block, a water bottle in your left hand, or bring your fingertips down. Lift up and out through the crown of the head. Push the hips forward like we did in gate pose. Reach your right fingertips up. One more inhale. Exhale, stay here. Just bend your left knee. Step your left hand back. Drop the right foot down to the back of the mat. Utthita Parvakasana, extended side angle, either with your hand on the outside of your foot or left elbow to left knee. Push down, lift up and open. Reach the right fingertips up. Straighten the right leg. Inhale. And exhale, let it go. Spin to face your mat, plant your hands down. Step back to plank, vinyasa, or straight to down dog, or child's pose for a breath or two. And so working to balance the ease and the effort, and so that it serves you and doesn't take you too far into one direction or the other, making you feel too out of control or like you're not putting enough effort into your practice. Allow everything to flow from the breath, serving that first, and let the asana extend out through that. Beautiful. From your down dog, lift your hips if you were in child's pose, gaze forward, step your left foot up, step your right foot up about a foot, align your front heel with your back heel, turn your right toe slightly out and come all the way up. Reach your arms back out into that T. Turn your palms to face behind you, draw your arms back, bend your elbows. Reach for opposite elbows or reverse prayer. Hug your left hip, left shoulder back. Straighten both legs strongly, inhale. Exhale, fold. Hinge from your hips. Push down into all four corners of the feet and bow down. Pyramid pose. And take a few breaths. Allow your heart to descend, but keep that strength and stability in your lower body and let go through your head and your neck. Beautiful balance of ease and effort. Good. One more breath in. Exhale, release your bind, plant your hands down, fold. Lift up halfway. Step your right foot up to meet your left one. Ardha Uttanasana, breathe in. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, reach and extend, fill up with air. And exhale, bring your hands down, Tadasana. Inhale, reach up. Fold forward, moving back to downward facing dog. Allow the flow to move through you. Breathe in, halfway lift. Letting go, exhale, plant your hands. Journey back to down dog. Either through a flow or go straight there. And make sure your feet are as wide as your hips. Spin your inner thighs in, back, and apart in your down dog. Hide your heels behind your toes. And into that push, feel the lift and extension through the crown of the head and your hips. Good. From here, look forward, shift forward, plank pose, top of a push-up. So bring your hips in line with your shoulders and your heels. Push down strongly into your arms. You can drop your knees down or take this with legs straight. Inhale. Exhale, drop your right forearm down. Drop your left forearm down. Forearm plank. You can also take this with knees down. But make your arms like a little 11 in front of you. Keep your palms down on the mat like this, or join your palms. Press the pinky edge side of your hand down into the ground. Still push down into your elbows. Look towards your toes. Walk your feet up towards your elbows. Pigeon pose, and gaze at your thumbs. So avoid letting your elbows splay far out to the side. Push them down and tone them in. Stay right here or lift your right leg. Keep gazing at your thumbs. Stay here or little kicks up to pinch your Mayurasana. So take a kick or two, little baby kicks. You can move back towards the wall, do what you got to do, and then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. From here, gaze forward, step your right foot forward to the outside of your right hand, lizard. So sleepy lizard, active lizard, flying lizard, or plant your hands down, think chaturanga, bend your elbows, and then shift forward, straighten your right leg, and lift your left leg up. Oh, my stuff is in the way, my decor is in the way. Ekapada Kundinyasana 2. So give that a try. Grip the mat with the fingers, play with it, and then lift up and back to downward facing dog. Shake it out and let it go. Perfect time to try stuff is when you're at home. Good. 2 breaths here. Let that go, down dog or child's pose. And then gaze forward, shift back forward to plank. This time drop the left elbow and then the right. Forearm plank. Hug your navel in. Stay with palms down or bring your palms together and press the pinky edge side of your hand down. Walk your toes up for dolphin. Option to stay right here or lift your left leg. As you're ready, you can kick up towards pincha on this side, but gaze forward towards your thumbs rather than back towards your belly. So look in the direction that you want to go. I'll give you some time for another kick or two. And then flow back to down dog. Whew, sweating now. So no rush at all, just so that you know where to go. From down dog, look forward and step your left foot forward and take one final lizard. Maybe that just looks like finding more depth here. Maybe the elbows and forearms finally come down here. Maybe you find the balance and the trust in your flying lizard. Or maybe you catch some air, feel that strength in your hands. Plant your hands down like chaturanga, bend your elbows, gaze forward, and stretch both legs out. Stretch the right leg back and left leg forward. And once you're done playing, lift your hips to down dog, stretch out. From your down dog, look forward and step your knees up to seated. And meet me seated at the top of your mat. Hello. I hope this light is okay. Okay, well, that's as good as we can get. Grab a towel, grab some water, and meet me seated. I think I really need to close that other blind. So sorry, y'all. There we go. So from seated, extend your legs out into a V, and then draw your left knee in. And snuggle your heel in towards your groin, shift slightly forward, and point your toes, almost so much that you come to the top edge of your left foot. Flex your right toes and reach your fingertips up. And as you exhale, twist towards your knee. Place your right hand on the outside of your knee and then gaze to the left. Reach up and crescent over to your right. Parvita Janya Shirsasana. So gaze away from your extended leg. If you can grab your toes, use that to lift your heart up towards the sky rather than turning down to face your leg. Scoot your right shoulder inward to the inner edge of your right knee. Flex your toes strongly, but gaze up. Inhale. Exhale, let go of any grip that you have or any reach. Rise up and switch legs. And draw your right heel in. Bring your legs out into a wide V. Flex your left toes. And then scoot slightly forward to come to the top of your right foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Empty your belly and bring your hand to the outside of the knee. Big rainbow. Reach your right arm up and overhead. Flex your toes and reach for the toe or your ankle, or just keep lifting your fingertips. Draw your right shoulder up and back. Turn your heart towards the ceiling. And scoot your left shoulder inward towards the inner edge of your leg. Give yourself a few breaths to land here. So you can get the shape, you've done the work. And now sink in. Perfect. Release whatever you got as you inhale. Rise up and draw both knees into your chest. Keep your knees bent. Plant both feet on the ground with your toes facing forward. And then step your hands back behind your hips. Point your fingertips towards your hips. Squeeze your elbows together. Draw your shoulder blades together, gaze forward. As you breathe in, push into your hands and feet, lift your hips up. Reverse tabletop. Big stretch in the shoulders here. So you can keep your hips down for something more gentle, or lift the hips all the way up. Keep your chin tucked in or let your head fall back. Squeeze your outer glutes. Breathe in more strength on every inhale. Exhale, lower your hips down. Move your hips back in line with your wrists, straighten your legs, and sit all the way down. Release your hands, shake it out. Option to take one more upward facing table, or any other back bend of choice, or full Purvottanasana with your legs straight. So you'll plant your hands down behind your hips, Draw your elbows in, setting up similar to how we did before. You can take the options we did before, anything else you choose, or straighten your legs, point your toes, gaze forward. Push down into your heels and the hands to lift your hips up. Reach your heart towards the sky, point your toes towards your mat, and gaze up and back. Squeeze your inner thighs, the inner edges of your feet in towards one another. Lift your hips high. Take another breath. And exhale, lower all the way down. Let your head, neck, and shoulders come back into line. And extend your legs back out into a V. Draw your left heel in. Inhale, reach up. And this time, twist towards your right, towards your extended leg. Breathe in. And exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward, Janushirasana. Reach for the outsides of your feet or your ankle. Whatever you've got, lift the crown of the head up and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Flex your right toes. And so keep moving your belly towards your thigh, but don't lose all that extension and length in the crown of the head and the neck and the shoulders. So try not to crumble and round down here. Lift up. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, let go of whatever you've got, and we'll switch it out. Draw the right heel in, straighten your left leg, flex your toes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist to the left. Breathe in. Exhale, hinge and bow. Draw your right shoulder forward, hug the left shoulder back. So you frame your heart right over your leg. So it's a forward fold and a bit of a twist. Should get some nice stretch across this right hip, right side body. And just descend into appreciation for what it is that you have and what you can do. Let go of anything else that's out of your control, out of your reach. Don't expend your energy there. Halfway lift on a breath in. And then let it go. Extend your legs out. And then slowly lower or just lay all the way down. Full body stretch, lay onto your mat. And take any final movements that seem like a good idea. So do take some time to consider. If you have a supported and steady inversion that you like to take at the end of your practice, Sirsasana 1 or cloud pose, Halasana, maybe one more bridge pose or a supine twist. Anything that your heart, your mind, your body is calling for. Honor your breath the entire time, even yourself out. Create that balance. And seeking more of a feeling of balance rather than equal breaths on one side or doing the thing that you're supposed to do. Let your awareness go deeper. And without any rush whatsoever. And take as much time as you need and then gently release yourself into our final pose. And take a shape that requires no effort whatsoever. Fall into your mat with reckless abandon. Imagine it's a big fluffy pillow, big fluffy mattress, totally supporting you. Let your arms be heavy and fall out to their sides. Let your feet fall out. And let your breath move into its easy, natural rhythm. So give as much care and attention to releasing, to letting go, to letting breath and rest and recovery flood in where the effort has left so much space, so much warmth, so much focus. You turn that focus inward, away from your body, away from the poses, away from the effort. You turn that focus into who you are, the things that serve you best. And feel weightless here on your mat. And sense your community all around you. With each easy exhale, soften deeper into your rest. Allow every muscle to soften, even the muscles in your face, around your eyes, between your brows. Begin to let your thoughts move in and out. Be with yourself for your well-deserved Shavasana. Stay still. And stay still, but let the sound of my voice, the rhythm of your breath, the beating of your heart, let that draw your awareness back and experience your stillness. And once you let it sink deeply within you, into every single bone, into your heart, so that peace moves within you throughout your days and your weeks to come. Gently start to deepen your breath. Allow your inhales and your exhales to reawaken your body, reinvigorate your mind, and reunite you with the here and the now. Move back into your day. Bend your elbows and place your hands on your torso somewhere that's comfortable. You can place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or anywhere in between. Feel the gentle ebb and flow of your breath. Feel the earth supporting you always underneath you. Feel the lightness and the airiness, the space that you've created around your heart. And know that it's your inner strength that allows you to feel that lightness. Bend your knees and gently roll over to your right side. And then turn more to face the earth. Plant your hands down, push down, and lift up to a comfortable seat. And once you've made it to seated, close your eyes back down or just gaze down softly in front of you and rest your hands on your knees, in your laps, or touch your palms together at the center of your chest. And lift your heart up into your thumbs. Balance the rootedness and steadiness of your feet with the lightness and openness in your heart. And take a deep breath in. And fully exhale. Take a deeper breath in. Expand and exhale. Release. Let's join in our deepest breath of the day. Breathe in and stretch out. Reach out for every bit of life and air around you that you can hold. And then exhale. Let that gift go. Bow your chin inward. And let your heart fill with the deepest gratitude. And send that out to any place and anyone that needs it. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. Namaste. Hey, y'all. Thank you again. I hope everybody enjoyed. I hope you could see me with, the changing lights and the things. Sorry about that. We'll figure that out for next time.
Thank you so much.
If y'all have any, you're welcome. If you have any feedback, let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
I'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.